new Dragon Ball Super Broly movie. Review coming. Hey guys, welcome to the channel again. This is Chino Comics and More. My name is Chino. This is Manny.
What's up, YouTube?
We're gonna talk today about Dragon Ball Super Broly, the Broly movie.
Yeah, but before we do all that, just kind of want to give you guys a different aspect of what else I collect. As you can see, today is Dragon Ball Super Day, and this kind of falls in line with it. These are shoes that Adidas released, Dragon Ball Z themed, and then I also have some action figures. As you can see, I mean, we got the Gokus, the Friezas, the Majin Boos, and the Vegetas. Pretty dope shoes for the most part, I think. Kind of sucks, man, because there was 3 other shoes that went with this collection: the Gohans, the Cells, and you're talking about the Shenrongs. But man, this shoe was pretty hype. It was really hard to buy them, to be honest with you. You had to be online. You had to be on their attendance before. Long story short, I struck out 3 times. Not really. Actually, matter of fact, I had the Cell shoes, but those got lost in the mail. It is what it is.
Oh yeah, they got lost during the wildfires out there in California.
Yeah, that's what it was. Or maybe somebody kept them. But what we want to do today is we want to review the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie. What we'll do is we'll touch base on the video, audio, the story, and then we'll give our verdicts on what we believe the movie was, from either a 1 or a 10. 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest. Now keep in mind, I've kept up with the show. I kept up with Dragon Ball Super. I've seen every episode. Chino, the last thing he saw was Dragon Ball GT.
Correct.
Now GT has nothing to do with Super. So I saw from my perspective, he saw from his. So I guess what we can do first is we'll talk about the video. What do you think?
As far as the video, I think it was very sharp. Again, we watched this in a movie theater.
Yeah.
So if you guys happen to have, I think this was a small release or just a release in certain,
it's a limited release.
Certain theaters. So what I recommend, if it's something that's showing here in the next few days and you guys can see this video before they remove the movie from the theaters, go and watch it, because video is outstanding. If you're used to seeing the old, again, I haven't watched anything that has to do with Super.
Yeah.
But I started watching, you know, at the end of GT and all that. This kind of just surpassed my expectations. I think everything just looked so much better. The colors were sharp. I mean, it was an amazing movie as far as video quality.
What would you rate the video from 1 to 10?
I would say that I'm going to give it a 10. I like giving high grades, so I'm going to go with a 10.
Okay, so what I thought about the video was, I thought it was extremely sharp. And I believe this is probably one of the movies that has the most CGI for a Dragon Ball series. So a lot of colors popped. It was very sharp. The art style was on point. It kind of had an old school art style mixed in with CGI. Some of the characters looked a little bit more modern. I do like that they kind of focus a little bit more on the planet Vegeta. So you kind of get a pretty good aspect of that planet, see it from their perspective. So I thought that was pretty cool. So yeah, the video, I'm gonna give it a solid 9. Now, audio. What do you think about the audio?
Well, again, we watched it in a movie theater, so I mean, everything sounded so good. I mean, the explosions were loud. The dialogue was sharp. I mean, it was very clear. I think everything was, again, they did a good job with this movie. Coming from watching the last, I guess, cartoon or I mean, I don't think if this falls in line with anime. I just say they're all cartoons.
Yeah.
The last Spider-Man, the Miles Morales movie. I mean, the audio was actually pretty good. I have no complaints with the audio. It was very clear. The voices, I want to touch on the voices. So if you're used to seeing, you know, like me, I got cut off at Dragon Ball GT. You know, it's good to hear that the original characters who played the voices are back for this one as well.
Yeah, so on the audio itself, I agree. I mean, the audio was booming, and I mean most of the movie was fight scenes, to tell you the truth. So you're hearing fists, you're hearing explosions.
You can hear the wind.
Yeah, and then of course, like he said, the voice of the actors, for the majority, all of them are the same. I want to say maybe Frieza's voice sounded a little bit different, so that might not be the same actor that portrayed him before. But other than that, I mean, I kind of felt like the dialogue sometimes was a little low compared to the explosions and the action. So I kind of disagree with Chino on that case, or maybe my hearing is just worse than his is.
He's a little bit older than me, so yeah.
No, I'm not. He's actually older. But aside from that, if I had to rate the audio, and then I'll ask you for yours, I'll give it a solid 8.5 on the audio.
Yeah, and you know what? Not hearing your kind of perspective on it, yeah, I think I'll agree with you. I mean, there were parts where they're fighting and talking. If you watch the series, you can relate to this. So yeah, you're right. I just didn't think of that. I think I was just so happy to again, I hadn't watched this series in so many years to actually get back into it.
Yeah, and then now to jump to the next topic is the story. Again, I've kept up with Super. He hasn't. So I really want to hear his perspective, because I kind of knew what was going on. I didn't have any spoilers, so I stayed away from that. So that was pretty cool about it. And I'm pretty sure he kept away from him too. Now, I knew the characters that were in the movie. And I know afterwards, he asked me when we left, so this guy was who and that guy was what? So what do you think about the story? Did it make sense to you, or was it like, do you need to watch the shows beforehand, or just watching the previous shows kind of, helped you out with this one?
No, I'll be quite honest with you guys. I don't think you need to watch this new series to kind of see what's going on or to understand the characters, because a lot of the old characters are still there.
Yeah.
Granted, I don't think this is a spoiler. In the beginning of the movie, I did see 2 new characters on there. You guys have watched the series, you're gonna know. I think Manny will probably touch base on that because I don't know their names. But I did ask Manny, who's that? And Manny's like, dude, after the movie I'll tell you, because those dudes are super powerful. And I'm thinking, man, really? Like they haven't beat these guys? And again, spoiler alert, Manny knows more about this, but to just kind of let you guys know, if you haven't watched the new series, you're not going to be lost. Frieza has been there from the original series, so he's there. The only question that you're going to ask is, what the hell is he still doing there? Because we all know he perished and he came back and he perished again. But besides that, Broly, if you guys kept up with the series, they did make a Broly movie back when they were doing Dragon Ball Z or the Dragon Ball series.
Yeah.
So this kind of just negates that. There's no more of that movie. That movie doesn't exist. So I think they just kind of relaunched this new the character. Right. It's the same character, but they just kind of introduced him again. A lot of the same things and story from that first movie, it's in here. It's just totally different. I think you guys, when you go watch it, you guys are going to be really thrilled. As far as there's comedy behind this. Yeah. If everybody knows Goku is kind of like me, stupid and sarcastic.
I won't say dumb, man,
but that's the funny thing about this, is that he just blurts out what
he's thinking.
Yeah, what he's thinking, and that's me sometimes. So I can relate to that. And the same kind of brotherly kind of relationship that Goku and Vegeta have now, it's there. So everything that you saw during the old series, it's still there, and it presents well. So I mean, outside of all that and the action, I thought the movie was spectacular.
Okay. What do I think about the story? If you've seen the old Broly, and Chino picked up on it, like he said, it looks like they negated the old movie. He is correct. What they did here is they kind of went a different version of that same movie, but they finally gave it more of a backstory. And what I really enjoyed is that Broly kind of has more of a character now. He's not the guy that's just upset because Goku or Kakarot would not shut up when he was a baby. So, there's a little bit more meaning behind it, why he is who he is. And I like the fact that, Vegeta and Goku had a big part in this movie. And then so did Broly. So in reality, it's kind of focused on those 3 characters. The
And I think Frieza.
Well, Frieza's a fan favorite. And so he's always trying to lurk, and he's always scheming. He's a schemer. So, like Shino said, he's more like Goku, and I guess I'm more like Vegeta. I'm always overanalyzing stuff. I'm overthinking stuff, and I think that's how we can kind of relate. And then we butt heads, but it's actually very funny. It's a lot of action, non-stop fighting, and it's pretty cool because we went with people that haven't really kept up with the series itself, or had never even really seen Dragon Ball. And then I took my kids with me. When we left, everyone was happy. Everyone had a smile on their face. Everyone enjoyed it. So if people that have not seen the movie or even seen the show enjoyed it, and us fans that we do like this kind of series, if we loved it, it must be a good movie. So if I had to rate the story itself, I would give it a high 9. What do you think?
I'm gonna go with a 10, just simply because I haven't watched the new series, and I didn't get lost behind it. So I think just by not getting lost with it, just knowing what happened in the previous Dragon Ball Z series, I'm gonna give it a 10, just simply because they connected it very well to where if I didn't watch anything on the new series, I wasn't there like asking so many questions outside of the few questions that I had about 2 or 3 characters that I saw on there. That's it. And those characters are minimal. When they come out, it's like non-existent after that. So it's just like you're not lost with, man, that guy's doing such an incredible job. Who is he? So,
yeah, it's a Broly, Kakarot, Vegeta, and Frieza movie.
I like how you said Kakarot.
So that's enough for me. Just having those characters on screen was perfect. Everyone else was a plus. I think the cool part about it is that, spoiler alert, if you want, skip this part.
Skip it. Let's count down. 1, 2, 3. If you're still here, you don't want to skip it, you like spoilers like me, I've gone through all the spoilers for Game of Thrones and Walking Dead, so you're here.
Yeah, and he always tries to text me those spoilers, and I don't listen to him. I ignore them. But, so, heads up, guys. The series is going to keep going. There is something after Broly. And what I like about it is that, it looks like he's going to be part of what's coming next. So I cannot wait for the next series of Dragon Ball Super.
And as a fan of the original series, and I just haven't had time to see the new series. I think they're dubbed now, so I'm probably going to start watching those or put them on record. Are they coming out on TV?
I like the one with subtitles. My wife asked me, why do you watch that? It doesn't even make any sense. I'm like,
you're trying to learn Japanese.
I'm like, babe, you don't need to understand the language to understand these. So aside from that, to wrap it all around, starting with the video, audio, and story, if I were to rate this movie right now, I would give it a solid 9.
And I'm just gonna give it. I know I gave it an 8.5 on the audio, but I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 10. And it's contradicting, but again, I've been a fan of this series. I haven't been had time to just catch the new series. I don't mind reading. I read comic books, so if I can't read off the screen, then I shouldn't be reading comic books. But I just haven't had time, and Manny's kept up with it. Yeah. But after seeing this movie, it just piqued my interest, so I'm gonna go and rewatch the new series because I'm excited for the second part of the new series coming out right after this movie.
So what will we say to the people out there? Go watch it.
Yeah, go watch it. If you're fortunate enough to have it in your city, in a theater near you, you are going to be doing yourself a disservice by not watching this movie.
Thumbnail. Kamehameha.
What does Vegeta do?
Final Flash.
Gatling gun. It's been that long since I've watched the series. I know Kamehameha because that's how Goku does that, and then he does the whatever else.
Spirit Bomb.
The Spirit Bomb.
This guy, man.
Wow. That's why I stick to comics.
And with that, we're out.
We're out. Thank you.